This don't count. This ain't really the live. I'm just trying to see. I had this idea because I want to do lives from my laptop, but in order to do it from your laptop, you got to download a third-party software, and they just make it too difficult. So this is my attempt to see if I could see it on my laptop while I stream from my phone. And I'm not getting any notifications on here. Oh, here we go. Fine. I bet. Yeah. Nice. This don't count. But I gotta mute it though. I'm just trying to see. All right, successful idea, man. This idea popped up in my head yesterday. I was like, yo, I really want to do a live because it's probably gonna be one of the last chances I get to do anything this month. And I always want to upload like 2 videos a month. So I got one out the way the other day, and in a few days I'm gonna have Aura. So I don't think I'm gonna be able to record for the rest of the month. So here's like the makeup video. You know what I mean? What up? What up? What up? So over here, I'm gonna keep looking to the right because I got the laptop popping. So now I can see like live the comments that come through. So what up, Cuzzo? Happy for everybody making it. Let me go get my notes real quick. Bop, bop. Nice. Hope everybody got their water so you can be hydrated. I'm not gonna hold you too tough today. I'm gonna just try to run through my numbers. I took some notes about the things that I wanted to touch on. Aura is still with Mom Dukes right now. This month we switched it up because Valedia is going to a festival next week, at the end of next week, and she's gonna be gone for like 9 days. So we just said, you know, especially with the gas being the way it is now, boy oh boy, we decided it would be easier if we split it up into 2 weeks, which has been super tough. I've never gone 2 weeks without seeing Aura, but I also know that I've also never had Aura by myself, dolo, for 2 weeks. And it's gonna be my first time, so I'm looking forward to that. 99% of the way, like 0.1% of me is kind of dreading it because I'm like, 2 weeks, just me and a baby, no help. It's gonna be an experience for sure. So the things that I wanted to talk about was that video that I just put up about what love is, and giving you all who have seen it, hopefully by now, a couple of days to ruminate on it and try to figure it out for yourself, how you feel about love and what do you think love is, now that you've seen that I've gone through great lengths to try to figure this shit out for myself. But I just realized the mistake that I made was not writing down the comments that I wanted to respond to. So what I will say is, if you do end up going back to that video, look through the comments because a bunch of people made a really nice introspective comments about love and what they thought it was, and I thought that was dope, and I wanted to share some of their comments so we can elaborate more on that. But it's a continuous thing that we're always going to be trying to figure out. I think, like I said in the video, I thought I had love figured out, 5 years ago, and that's what it was going to be for the rest of my life, but it's a little bit different now, how I feel about love. Yeah. Um, so yeah, definitely check that out if you haven't checked that out yet. And I want to talk about Aura being here for the 2 weeks. I kind of already covered that. What I also wanted to touch on is, I know a lot of parents follow this channel, right? So if you can, in the comments, like, let's talk about real quick, when your child got to the point where they're going to be under daycare or going to school, or like when you first really dropped your baby off to get babysat somewhere and you walked away from them, like how how do you find it in yourself to trust somebody that much? And I asked that question because I'm nearing that threshold myself. Like when I was in Georgia, we would drop her off at her with a lady's mom, and that was a no-brainer. Like, but outside of her, I don't know, man. I'm getting there. Um, if you saw the last video, one of the last interviews was with a lady named Miss Tiffany. Tiffany reached out to me when I first moved out here to Jacksonville. Her and her husband Barry. They reached out to me and just basically asked me like if I wanted to hang out. They've been here for a while, probably over 15 or 20 years. So they know a lot about Jacksonville. So she showed me around. And I'm really digging her vibe. Like I really love Miss Tiffany and her husband Barry. They're dope people. And so if I have anybody on my radar as far as like who may be able to babysit Aura, it's her because Aura gets along with her really well. Actually, the last time we were there at her house, when we were about to leave, Aura didn't want to leave. And I was like, oh, look at that. Hmm. So let's see what you are saying in the comments about that because I'm interested to know. Uh-huh. Or super smart. She could take care of herself. You know what? That being said, I think the first time I was left alone for an enormous amount of time, I was like 6 years old. And I think I did pretty good. Like, I'm still here, you feel me? And I didn't injure myself terribly. I didn't burn the house down. But, you know, two is a stretch. I won't be leaving her alone for any time in the near future, but thank you for your confidence in that. I agree. She is super smart. Oh, Jody, Cuzzo. Shout out to my cousin Jody. He was probably tearing up because you know my dad. Miss Ramos says, love is commitment and dedication with a pinch of passion. I will not be contrarian to that. Love is frequency. I believe we have to become love, not fall into it. I like that perspective. I almost have a toddler, and the answer is I don't. She's like, you don't trust people, Miss Sunshine? Yeah, man. Yeah, go through the children like that's what I'm about. All right, I'll see the comments. I'm on top of them. See, last time the comments was like I would have to be on the phone and like doing this in front of the camera. I didn't like that. So that's why it's important for me to have the laptop right here so I could do the comments and switch back. Bam. But yeah, it's gonna be dope to finally be able to have some help with Aura and be able to like drop her off and go do something that I need to do for myself because I neglect myself a little bit when she's here. Like I don't really work out like I normally do. Even though I still do, it's just not like going to the gym. Like I'll go to the park around the corner and get it in like this little workout station they have, or I'll do like the little home calisthenic workouts. Calisthenics is so powerful. I just got this book, Urban Calisthenics. One thing that this book has already taught me is that I've been pronouncing calisthenics wrong my entire life. It's calisthenics. Nix. Nix is the last syllable. I've been saying calisthenics without the N. So, yeah, there goes that. And also, swinging it back to the Aura thing, what I've noticed has been coming up for me when I'm making a decision about where I could possibly leave Aura is my internal trauma of abandonment. And to go into depth about that, I would only say that I feel like I was abandoned as a child, quite literally in a sense. Like, I love my dad. Me and my dad are super tight. We're like this these days. But my dad was a very free spirit, I will say that. And had no problems leaving me alone. As a like a 6, 7 year old. Like just yeah, I'm gonna disappear for a few hours. And so it never really bothered. That never really hit until Aura got here, and I was like, I would never leave Aura alone. I don't think I could leave. Like even if I really wanted to, I couldn't. I could not leave her alone. So that's something that was coming up for me is like just getting like my childhood and getting over that, and also codependence too, because although like things are kind of rough for me in my childhood, I've always been like super dependent, codependent on my dad. I didn't really know what codependence was and the difference between codependence and interdependence. Um, so yeah, like I feel like now I'm a little codependent on Aura. Even as weird as that sounds, like she's just a baby, yeah, but like she kind of defines who I am for me now that she's here. So that's something that I'm working through. And yeah, so I think that's all I wanted to bring up about that whole idea. Yeah, so also the thing about leaving Aura somewhere is like she's two and she's just now getting a grasp of language and like forming sentences. She's not really there yet as far as like, yo, Aura, what happened today? Or like, how was your day? Like she can't break it down to me. So until then, I really feel uncomfortable as far as like leaving her somewhere because I want her to be able to tell me, yo, I don't like the way this person said that or did this or whatever. Like I just want her to be able to communicate a little bit more before I'm like, yeah, daycare or babysit. Yeah. So yeah, you definitely got to know the maturity and be and or is super mature for a 2 year old. I gotta say, like, Validia sometimes sends me videos of like, cause she goes to the gym and her gym has like a daycare in it, and you can always see what's going on in the daycare on her phone. So sometimes she'll send me the video, and I see or like being all independent, playing with her toys by herself, or like finding some adult that she really doesn't know like that, but like trying to get the adult to play with her and that's really dope. It warmed my heart when I saw that because she's just the best. She's just the best. Like no shade on anybody else's children. I'm sure you feel like your kid is the best too, but like I feel like my kid is so special. So I digress off of Aura for now. Moving along, I wanted to talk about how sharing on YouTube has been so healing for me because when I spend all these hours looking back at footage and just trying to make a vlog that's entertaining and also have a message at the same time about and when I'm recording myself, I'm just living and learning. Like it's not me and like, yo, I gotta do something for YouTube right now. It's like, no, I'm going to do this and it might look good on YouTube. So I'm gonna just bring my camera. 25% of the time I forget to pull the dang camera out. But when I do, it's just me like showing you what I'm doing in that moment or like what's happening. So I just wanted to point that out to kind of encourage or motivate everybody because my very first vlog, which is almost a year now. Next month will be a year in my YouTube journey, my personal YouTube journey. My first video, I was really trying to explain to my cousins because they're very talented themselves that they should start a YouTube channel. And for you as well, if you feel like you're kind of on the fence about starting your own YouTube channel, start that, yo. Like, it's so powerful. For one of the reasons being is it helps you live forwardly. Like, now I have to be very mindful and intentional with my time and how I live and like make things that I'm doing meaningful to me. And I did that before YouTube, but now that I'm sharing it with people, it almost was like you're like my YouTube, the people who subscribe to this channel are like my personal life trainers. Not that I even need you to like tell me how I should be living my life, but the fact that I know that I have to share it with people kind of holds me accountable. Like in the same way people really love God and like They think God is always watching them, like this omniscient, omnipresent being is always watching them, so they need to beware of what they're doing. That's kind of how I am with like my YouTube subscribers. Like, I don't know who subscribes. If 10,000 people subscribe to this channel, I don't know if I'm gonna run across somebody outside when I'm walking. Like, if I'm walking through the park or just walking up the sidewalk, I don't know if somebody recognizes me and maybe they're too shy to come say hi. So I just gotta be mindful of like how I move outside. Even though I don't really be doing much, I'm not the same Matt that I was when I was a teenager, just wilding out. So you're probably never gonna see me out and about doing something that I shouldn't be doing, is what I should say. But YouTube has also helped me feel like, or just remind me how limited time is, because I try to have a video up every 2 months, every 2 months, twice a month. Sometimes my brain gets a little dyslexic. Y'all gonna see that. But yeah, I try to do two a month. So like if 2 weeks has gone by and I haven't even started editing a video yet, like I just get this daunting feeling like I'm messing up, like I'm effing up real bad. So it's reawakened this time is limited feeling that I have on top of the already limited time that I felt due to the fact that I'm just getting old. I'm 36 now, and it's like this thought that I have constantly that like a lot of my life, so much life has been lived by me. I know I have so much more, but like the youth is not going to return. Like the knees and the ankles, maybe like depending on my exercise regimen might return to their youthful ways. But like when I'm walking, my ankle is like crack, crack, crack. My knees is like crack, crack, crack. I'm teaching myself new dances. If you saw my last video, you saw a little snippet of how long I've been trying to get that A Bay Bay dance. I've been trying to get that A Bay Bay dance for like 2 or 3 months now. And I still can't do it like the young boy does it. The young boy, he just be gliding. It looks like none of his feet don't touch the ground at all. But I definitely always have like one visible foot on the floor. That said, when I do master that dance, I will definitely put it on the channel and try to like show you how far I've come, because I've gotten so much footage. Right now I have like 15 minutes of footage of me dripping in sweat trying to perfect this dance that seems so simple, but it's really not. It's like a half burpee, but just like jumping up and down and just creating the illusion with your legs that you're actually like floating. Yeah, man. And another thing that I want to touch on, after, because I took a bunch of notes, is how finding the balance of thriving in life yet being content enough to accept death of this body, because I don't really believe in death like people believe in death. Like I feel like the consciousness doesn't die, but the physical body does. And so I want to thrive in life. Like I want so much more. There's so many things and goals that I have to hunt down. But also, like if death was to snatch me today, like if I'm going to the store after I finish, when I hit stop on this video and somebody smashes into the car, like in that darkness, when all the lights shut out, will I be able to be like, okay, well, this is it. I lived a great life. Or will I be like, oh no, I want to do this. I wanted to do that. Like, I feel like Jujutsu Kaisen. Oh man, the tangents that I could go off into right now. But I say all that to say that I feel like that's where ghosts and like spirits and supernatural stuff happens, because people can't release their attachment to this planet. And so I want to be able to accept that whenever it does come, whenever it may come. Maybe, maybe in my lifetime, immortality or just like a huge decrease in aging will happen. And I'm kind of feeling like it is, because I read something the other day talking about how they can stop aging in mice now. Like that's a real thing. Like they can make ageless mice. I don't know if immortality is actually a thing. I don't even know if you want to be immortal. Being immortal would probably suck, because if you were immortal, let's say if you got caught in like an earthquake, then you're just like chilling under all this earth. You're not gonna die. The earth is gonna get consumed by the sun one day. You're gonna feel all that, and like, I don't know. Immortality might not be the way to go. But if I could live like 250 years, I'll take that. All right, let me check these comments. Where did I leave off? Son is 12. There it is. Would I like to have other children in the future? Of course, I would love. I would love to have more children in the future, especially since I'm attracting all this abundance. Best believe. I just, you know, I wanna, I wanna be responsible for creating good humans, because this world needs way more good humans. Osta Aja. Greetings, Matt. Much love to you. You're so dope. Always amazing. It all mean a lot to me, being a part of your journey. Thank you. It means a lot to me that you are a part of this journey. We're all here. Everybody watching this right now. It means so much more to me. Like I can't even begin to express how dope it is that people actually care to show me attention. But that's what happens when you put yourself out there to be paid attention to. So shout out to all those people on the YouTube fans. Go ahead and start your channel. How is dating life as a single dad? Kelly M asked. Dating has been dope. I've been blessed to meet some incredible women. I will say that. She walks in beauty says, you may think no one's watching, but there's one person out there that will resonate with you. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man. So you guys are with me. I'm happy to see that y'all with me on how healing YouTube could be. Like seriously, don't think that's some woo woo. That's real talk, no cap, as the kids these days say. How do you feel about daycare, even public schools, seeing how so many kids treat other kids and how adults treat them, good or bad? I don't I don't expect or presume that we'll ever put Aura in public school unless drastic changes happen within public school. Or just like a drastic changes in my life that I have no choice. But the way it's working out now, it feels like Aura's never going to be in one place for too long. She's going to have this unique lifestyle where she's with mommy half the time and with daddy half the time. And either Valadia nor I know how that's going to look or feel. We're just carrying it out as we go. And so far, it hasn't been too tough. The toughest part about it is getting Aura in a car seat for 2.5 hours one way. She gets out, we stay in the park for like an hour, tire her out a little bit, then she gets back in the car seat for another 2.5 drive down to Florida. That's the hardest part by far. I don't even know how healthy that is for her, like her body. Like I don't think people should be sitting down that long, especially a growing toddler. So is what it is. But bringing it back to public school, I don't like the things that I have against public school is not with the children or the people inside of the public school. It's the curriculum and how they carry that out. I think it breeds obedient humans, and that's not the wave right now. The world needs much less obedient people. It needs very much free thinking, free spirited people who just don't necessarily bow down to authority. And I actually just posted something about that on my page. If you go to the Instagram, it was called the Milgram Experiments from Yale University from Dr. Milgram in 1963, where he figured out because the Nazi soldiers in the Nuremberg trials were trying to convince the jury that they could not be held liable for their actions because they were just following orders. And boy, is this a huge tangent that I'm going down right now, but I say all that to say that it's very important to teach people that just because that is a perceived authority doesn't mean that they have to make your decisions for you and you have no choice. A lot of us are like very much people pleasers. And so it's ingrained in our DNA almost to just like not create ruckus or waves. But waves need to be caused. Ruckus needs to be caused because people have morbid ideas. Like you can't really blame Hilter. Can't say his name because this channel gets smacked. You can't really blame him. You can blame lies on the people who mindlessly carried out his orders. So should I say? So I know we started at public school and went to that, but that's how the mind works. Alright, so let's go back to the comments. Bang, bang, bang. Daycare. Death is beautiful, peaceful transition from a physical to spirit body. I believe that. But do good. How would you know that, dare I say? Yo, Angelo, you caught the live. Virginia in the house. What up? Yeah, I get a lot of people from the DMV area. I love that. DMV people, like, for such just a small area, y'all be out here. Y'all really be supporting me. So, thank you for that. Shout out to the Be More, the whole Be More. You already know. If I start dating someone new, will she be in my channel? Maybe like next year or 2 years from now. Like, that's funny. I have thought about it, but the way people be acting, like I wouldn't want that drama for her, because people be just doing the most. Don't pressure yourself with whatever you learn along the way. Continue to spend as much time with your daughter, and that's important. Audie, what up, Audie? Shout out to Cali, LA. Shout out to my cousin Rocky. Yo, shout out to my cousin Rocky, man. Like he's I love you, Rocky. You know why. How about that book I was reading? Eat Smarter, still reading it. I'm not gonna go into it today because I really have to like go into the book, summarize it, write down my thoughts, and then come back and give y'all like the keys to it because there's so many keys and there's so much science. How do I feel about nihilism? Nihilism. I don't even know how to pronounce that word. How many times have I said that word out loud? Yo, Sunshine, good looking for the $4.99. Bing, bing. Ba, 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 ba. Yo, that was a good look. You just bought me like dinner. I appreciate that. What is nihilism? I feel like I knew what that word was at some point. Hey Siri, can you work for me right now? She's not working for me right now. What is nihilism? It's a philosophy or family of views within a philosophy that rejects generally accepted or fundamental aspects of human existence, such as objective truth, knowledge, morality. I don't know. I'm very much a believer of objective truths and morality. Yeah, so I don't know that much, but I'm very much like also the rebel too. So what being a rebellious person and a nihilistic person has to where they meet each other, I don't know. But yeah, I wouldn't go so far as saying that there is no absolute truth. Because if you say, yo, there's no absolute truth, that in itself is an absolute truth. So how could that's like self-contradictory. You know what I mean? Somebody said that I practice animalism. I like that. I like that primalism. Like primalism comes out a lot when you're in your base chakras. Ooh, that's a good diversion right there too. What up, Mama Lark? Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Appreciate y'all. I love that y'all love these combos and just chatting and chilling with me. I really appreciate that. I know it's a lot to like sit down somewhere and just stare at your phone to a guy talk. He's not necessarily talking directly to you, but that's another reason why I needed the computer here, because I do want to make this more of a conversation. Shout out to you, Paula, for the $9.99. Bang bang. Ba, 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 ba. Yo, YouTube is dope like that. Like, I could just do this and people want to support. That's dope. And I'm so grateful because your boy, that was one of the other things that I wanted to touch on. We were having that YouTube creator conversation. Right now, YouTube and my store, shout out to EyeNero.com, are like my money makers right now. And they're not really keeping me alive. And I refuse. Like, 99% of me refuses to go like submit a job application somewhere and like start clocking back in. I felt like I was so done with that life for like a few years now. But I've definitely entertained the thought because it's slow. It's this is the beginning. We're at the grassroots level of my YouTube journey and my online store journey. And so, yeah, I want to continue doing that, but I also need to like make sure that I can feed myself, I can pay my bills, and I can take care of my like provide for Aura. And she's not lacking in any way. Like I'm good. I have it covered for now. But sometimes I do get nervous, like especially when I'm about to go to sleep. I'm like, did I do enough today? Did I make enough profit today? When I wake up, I'm like, ooh, I gotta make some money. So shout out to YouTube for allowing the like people to do what they're doing right now. Paula and Sunshine, thank you. That's dope that YouTube allows that. Thank you for being given enough for that. And there was something else that I wanted to touch on with that. What was it? Oh yeah, what would you guys like to see like with the channel number one? Like let's bounce ideas off of me. Like there's so many ideas that I come up with and then it's either hard, it's too hard to execute yet without the resources, or I just second guess the ideas. Like I don't know how entertaining they're gonna be, and YouTube takes a lot of energy, so I don't want to like necessarily be recording footage for a certain thing and then have to scrap the idea. Like I'm not that type of person. Like anybody who really knows me knows like once I put my foot in the water, I'm getting all the way in. I'm diving. I'm not I'm not just gonna like, oh, I changed my mind halfway through it. Like I will put myself through pain to follow through with an idea. Um, so yeah, that was that. Let's definitely talk about ideas as far as like what videos, what vlogs you would like to see, what subjects you would like to see me talk about, cover. Also with the store, like it's really just t-shirts for now. And like there's a couple of accessories, like I got hats, I got like coffee mugs. But on a daily basis, I feel like I should just take away everything off of the store and just focus on one thing. Like one t-shirt that's really gonna excite people. What's my boy Will Ferrell say? It's provocative. Like I need a provocative t-shirt idea and just create the whole site around that one product. And that makes advertising a lot easier. It makes the site faster, so many things. Because the more products I add to my site, the slower it gets. That's it's just a learning experience. So definitely talk about like if you have any ideas for t-shirts or like if you have any provocative ideas, we can even like jump into direct messages. Like we can email back and forth if like you really want some type of consideration for your idea. I'm not against that at all. I just like yo, one of my uncles told me, he said, yo, why don't you just start selling Yoni Steam? Shout out to my Uncle Greg. He killed me with that. He killed me. But that ass, I know everything about Yoni Steam. Like I feel like I can set up a website and bust out some Yoni Steam sales. But I'm not gonna do that. That's pretty shallow. Miss Natty Nat says I'm her husband's twin. I feel like I have a lot of physical qualities that other people have. Like there was a short stint of a model career that I had in my early 20s. This is a whole long ass story that I'm not gonna bore y'all with because we already passed the 30-minute mark. But he always used to tell me that I look like Craig David. Craig David. And I don't really see it, but he saw it. Um, so yeah. Shout out to all the light skinned dudes out there. The light brights. That was some other trauma. That's more trauma that I have to get over in my childhood because like I'm black. Like I will tell you straight out that I'm black. I identify with being black. But also I very much do not identify with being black because my darker skin, my darker complexion family, people that were close to me, loved me, always teased me about being a white boy. And so I don't know how I feel about identifying with black, especially if you read, what is it, Dred Scott, verse, I forget what that court case was called, but that court case, the Dred Scott case, I might be misquoting it because my brain be everywhere and it's been a while since I read it. But in that court case, they say if you identify as black, you have no standing in law. And that's a whole other conversation that we're not going to jump into right now. Which is also why I kind of feel like when black people get gunned down in the street, they have no recourse, because if you present yourself as a defendant and you identify as black, whether it be on the census form, whether it be on your voter registration, whether it be on your driver's license, you don't have any standing in law, and that's why people get away with what they be getting away with. But that's just my idea. I can't really prove it right now, but I bet you if we went into like depth and studied that, we could probably come to a conclusion that that is the case. Somebody asked if I believe the Anunnaki existed. I mean, people went through great lengths to perpetuate the idea of Anunnakis. Like, people who build pyramids, people who were strong enough to etch hieroglyphics into stone, they believed in Anunnaki so much that they went through those great lengths to make sure that humanity never forgot about it. And so, that said, I feel like I do believe in Anunnaki. Have I ever come across one in real life? I've come across people who claim to be Anunnaki, but yeah. And if the theory that I know of about Anunnakis are correct, then we all have Anunnaki in us, because they are the seeders of this planet, along with like Palladians and yeah. So I believe in it. If that answers your questions. Somebody said 99. I said I'm watching on my TV. That's what's up. That's what's up. Oh wow, it just did a jump. Shout out to Joy. Yo, what happened? This is making me want to do lives a little bit more, not gonna lie, because I just made like 20 cash. Thank you for everybody who's commenting, by the way. This has been a dope experience. We're at the 38-minute mark. I'm gonna try to wrap this up in about 7 minutes. That way the people who didn't catch the live don't feel like, yo, I'm not about to watch that whole hour-long video. Because that's what happens to me. That's why I'm saying that. Because when I see it's a YouTube video that's an hour long, I'm probably not going to watch it. Not the way that my life is situated now. 10, 15 years ago, I would watch an hour-long YouTube video. Should do a video where I sit down and talk about how I feel about society and the state of the world. I agree. Am I vegan? Angela asked, am I vegan? No, I am not vegan. I was vegan for 7 years, and I felt great for the first 4, 5. Even in like the 6th and 7th year, I felt like I was okay, but I started to notice that chickpeas was big in my diet, and me and chickpeas don't really get along like that. Tofu was a huge part of my diet, and it just got boring. Tofu got boring. Tempeh, I still go for the tempeh hard body. Like the other day, I had a tempeh sandwich, so I'll still like cop that. But no shade or hate on vegans. Do what you do. Just also don't let it put you on a moral pedestal. I will say that. Don't think that you're better than meat eaters just because you're vegan. Because that's the wave that I was on. When I went vegan, ooh, meat eaters, evil. I used to walk into restaurants, meat is murder, and close the door. Oh, when we were young. Anime topics. I do like when you throw anime philosophy in your videos. I don't watch anime, but that kind of makes me interested. Yo, Anime will change your life if you're not on it yet. I hold dear this theory that no no live action film or medium can replicate what anime could do. Because anime can do anything. And then it can do things that your physical body can't do. Like, oh, this is gonna be another divergence. But it's so important that in the last few chapters of Jujutsu Kaisen, he talks about being a mangaka, which is a guy who creates like an author of manga. And he was saying how when you're creating manga or just anime in general, everything's always exaggerated to exaggerate like the human emotion. But he was getting hated on early in his career because he would draw things that weren't anatomically correct. Like he would draw a finger and the finger would bend a way that normally it shouldn't bend. But his argument why that should be acceptable is because it shows you like if I show extreme bend in this finger, how hard I'm pointing at a thing, or like the great effort that I'm going to point at something. So anime is super powerful. I think it expands your mind, it expands your consciousness, and the messages in them will blow your mind. Like Naruto has messages within messages within messages, and you really don't get it until you watch it the second or third time. That said, shout out to the movie Everything Everywhere at Once. That movie was the one of the first live action movies that I felt could like be on par with anime. If you haven't seen that movie yet, check it out. It's one of like definitely one of my top 5 movies of all time. Bang. So that's that. Shout out to all my mixed people out there. My ethnic background is up until I was 7, I just thought that I was black, and then I moved with my aunt Joan. R.I.P. to my aunt Joan. Shout out to the whole Colburn family. Shout out to the Waters family on the West Coast. When I got with her, she started putting me onto how we have like Native American in our heritage, and she started taking me to powwows and things like that. And she would always tell me like, "These are your people," and that stuck with me. That stuck with me the rest of my life. Although she never really identified which particular nation I was from, the powwows we used to go to on Long Island were from I want to say the Chippewa Nation. And so I just, whenever people ask me what nation I'm from, I would say Lenape because Lenape is where the original people from like the New York area. But Chippewas are definitely like on the eastern Long Island, Montauk, Connecticut area. So that's who I identify with. And recently, when my grandma, shout out to the Martin family, my grandma Willie Bell, when she passed away, I learned that I was Haitian. Never knew it. Never knew it. I knew that we were in a neighborhood with a lot of Haitians in it, but did not know myself that I was Haitian, and that's actually a large portion of my father's lineage. So, bam. Did that? I hope that answers your question. Um. Oh, a couple of people asked if I identify as a Moor. I do not. Um, more. I would identify more as an Aboriginal than a Moor. Moorish people are from Morocco, right? That's what we understand. And Morocco is on the other side of the pond. I've never been there, so I don't identify as Moorish. And also, in my sovereign journey and learning experience, I learned that we're really just all one big ass human family. If you look at the human genome scientifically, we're all first, second, and third cousins multiple times over. As far as like when you think about the mitochondrial Eve, I talk about that a lot, but I hope that answers your questions for the people who ask me if I identify as a Moor. I do not. But no shade to the Moors. I love them. I love all humans, and I appreciate the knowledge that they've brought to this world, especially like the New Age knowledge movement, because they were one of the few. I guess a category of people that were like you only really heard about them because they were going to court and telling judges that they accepted their oaths of honor, and like they were just breaking down sovereignty in a way that I had never really heard of before. Besides the Hawaiians, The Hawaiians are big on sovereignty, and Moorish people are big in sovereignty. So that's why I love them. All right. Wagwan, Jai Empress, where do you it? Yo, if I could master any language outside of Spanish and Japanese, it's Patois. Patois is the dopest language on this planet. I just love the way the afflictions and the way they break down things. Aubrey said, make sure to link your Cash App or PayPal if you feel comfortable sharing. For anybody, including Aubrey, who is interested in what my Cash App or my PayPal is, it's always linked in the bottom of my videos. I'm gonna try to see if I can link it in this video. Usually they don't let me write a description. I can like write it right here, but I'm not gonna take that time to do it. But if you go back and watch any of the videos before this, it's always in the description box. And I appreciate you asking. You gave Naruto a try last night. I know it's not for everybody. It takes a while, but what you have to do is get to the end of the episode, because what they're gonna do is called cliffhanging. Cliffhanging is the original clickbaiting. Cliffhanging makes you want to continue on, and it's an art in itself. So yeah, just watch as much as you can, get to the end, and then Naruto's like king of cliffhanging. So is Hunter x Hunter. I'm rewatching Hunter x Hunter. It's so bad how good they are at cliffhanging. Gonna do men's health products in a holistic way. Yeah, I'm definitely getting more on that health product tip now that I don't just use everything Valadia has in her medicine cabinet. Whenever I wanted like a health product, I would go into her medicine cabinet, or it would just be conversations that we would constantly be having about if this is better than that. And so I had like unlimited access to health products. Now that I'm here on my own, I have to like do it for myself, and then I'm like centering men's health instead of just like health in general. So yeah, I look forward to doing stuff like that, because health is wealth. You already know. Thank you for the flirt, Angela. I appreciate it. Your boy, I'm very modest and humble, so when you want to gas me, I will definitely receive it. You don't have to worry about me being too egotistic or too gas. I've never been that type of person. I agree with that, Miss Ramos, about the word black and calling people white. Like, white and black, people aren't colors. Is that a birthstone in my ear? I think so. I just randomly picked it out. Yo, we're already past the 45-minute mark. All right, let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up. All right, I'm gonna leave the comments alone. Thank you so much for everybody who has commented, who has participated in the conversation. Like, that has made this chat with Matt invaluable, as well as just entertaining for me. Because if I was here talking to myself, it wouldn't be as dope. All right, I've asked what you want to see on the channel. We've talked about the store. Another thing I want to mention about the store is, outside of the www.EyeNero.com, it's myself. I am my primary product. And realizing that, I've started taking really good care of myself. Like, I was taking all right care of myself before, but now, like, taking care of myself translates to dollars. And I'm not a money-centered person, but I am definitely attracting more abundance into my life. So if I can take care of myself, and that translates into dollars, and it works for you too, health is wealth. Yeah, I would definitely say try to come to the realization that we all, even if you don't have your own store, if you're not creating any products of your own, your body, your vessel, this is your primary product right here. This will equate to how much money you're gonna make in your lifetime. All right, so that was that. That was something I wanted to touch on. And also, I wrote this down. I forgot what it meant though. Being a product, yet not letting the numbers of not letting numbers be an internal representation of my worth. That's what I meant. So like, this is my vessel is my primary product, but if my bank account doesn't have $100 million in it, then I shouldn't let whatever number is in my bank account let me internalize that as this is how much I'm worth. We are all worth more than any monetary gain ever. Because when you really think about money, especially Federal Reserve notes, they have no intrinsic value. And that's a whole other conversation that we can talk about. So yeah. Lastly, to end this up, close this out, is two things. I wanted to share a song with you that it's not really my jam, but I love the lyrics of the song. And I felt like if you don't have the song or if you have never heard of it, you should at least listen to it once because it's so interesting. It's a song by a guy named Jack White, and the title of the song is called Love Interruption. And one lyric that I wrote down that made me so interested in this song is it's the chorus. He says, "I want love I want love to change my friends into enemies and show me how it was all my fault." That was so deep when I heard that. He wants love to turn his friends into enemies and then show him how it was all his fault. That's a whole video idea right there. I'm just going to leave you with that so you can ruminate on it. And another part of the chorus was he said that he's saying that he won't let love disrupt, corrupt, or interrupt him. And I thought that was pretty deep too. He would not let love disrupt, corrupt, or interrupt him. That was pretty deep. So I'm gonna leave y'all with that. I did say that I was going to have a giveaway at the end of this, but the company didn't get back to me with what my discount code was, and that's what I was gonna give away was my 50% discount code to this company that hooked me up with this. It's gold plated, but it's stainless steel. It's 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 a Virgo pendant, and it has a constellation on the back. So cool, right? The company is called Liberta Brelaire, and they have a really popular Instagram account. So I'm looking forward to making a nice like Instagram post so they can repost me on their channel, and hopefully I can get some subscribers, some followers because of that. Because my Instagram has been doing terrible. Can you believe that I used to have like 18,000 followers and now have 16.3, and that all happened within the last 2 years because I was sharing my truth. So I'm just trying to draw more people into the message. Shout out to my other channel, Saving Sovereignty. I've started to post on that as well, which I haven't in a while. And Liberta Brelaire gave me two other products. Hold on, that I just want to share. Thank you for sticking with me. So they sent me this. I got to pick it out. They told me to go to their website, pick out 3 joints, and they would send it to me. All I had to do was cover the shipping. And I think also if you're present on social media, you could reach out to them and ask them if they'll let you do that because spots are limited or whatever. But I've seen like Instagrams with less than like 100 or 200 followers have their products. So definitely reach out to them. This is a bracelet that I picked out, and this is another chain I picked out. So they're high quality, gold plated, stainless steel, 100% hypoallergenic. And I have a 50% off discount that I want to give you guys. I just don't have it right now. So when I get that, I'll revisit this and post it. You know, stay with me on the Instagram. I'll be talking a lot more about it. All right. Nisa said your truth is necessary, and I see in the shade, man. I hope I didn't throw any shade at anybody. Shade is not my attention ever. I feel like wise people just keep everything within them, not like keep it within, but they keep the focus on themselves. Wise people don't have to talk shit about other people. And with that, I will digress. thank you so much for coming and being a part of this. 55 minutes. I'm gonna hit this X button. I love you all. Till next time. Oh, Nisa said, not your shade. Okay, okay. I love you. Love you all. Love is love. Ask yourself what it is. Till next time, which might not be until next month. I'll catch up with y'all. Peace.